Hi, I'm Max and welcome to the first episode of the C-Files' new series, The Music of. Dario Argento's 1977 Suspiria marked a new era for film scores, particularly in the horror genre. The film, about an American abroad arriving at a dance school, a front for a witch's coven that plans to possess her youthful soul, was Argento's first immersion into the supernatural. Composed by the Italian progressive rock band Goblin, the unique and eerie soundtrack was a necessary element in setting the correct mood for the horror, when working with Argento's minimalistic approach to the much-loved cult classic. Goblin's strange and chaotic approach to the horror created an incredible effect that casts an intoxicating visual spell. The opening scene begins with the film's theme, Suspiria, played on a music box. A alluring and creepy yet beautiful instrument is used to draw you in with this eerie and terrifying piece. The audience will soon come to realise that this theme signifies danger and magic, as the Suspiria theme is repeated whenever any supernatural, mysterious or magical event is happening or going to happen. This was Argento's intention. He once said, "I need the audience to feel like the witches are still there, even if they're not actually on screen." And the eerie melodies of Suspiria achieve this. The repetitive melodies and melodic and rhythmical ostinatos foreshadow the horror waiting around the next corner. The constant changes in dynamics remind the spectator of the impending doom. All these musical elements put together create a constant feeling of tension and fear of an invisible menace. Goblin's chaotic approach to Suspiria can be seen throughout their pieces, the most obvious being that the music does not seem to match the action in the film. A notable scene could be when maggots begin to drop from the dance school's ceilings.
Don't let anyone come out.
The scene, which is meant to be disturbing and unpleasant, is accompanied by an almost twinkling synth melody. Why did Goblin choose to do this? Possibly to show the chaos of it all, in which case Goblin have done incredibly. By combining scene with music that almost juxtaposes them, Goblin creates a sense of chaos and action. Another notable feature of Suspiria are the scenes which lack music. Throughout the film, the melodies are blasted, overpowering the dialogue, but when the music ends, it results in moments of silence being even more terrifying. This is another musical genius of Goblin, as usually the music is what provides the terror. Goblin also employs the combination of sound effects and music. Often it is difficult to tell what is music and what are just the airy sounds of the seemingly haunted ballet school. Creaky floors, windy hallways and mysterious ghostly sighs, the integration of natural sounds and melodic phrases is what displays Goblin's musical talent. Another thing which makes Suspiria's soundtrack so terrifying is Goblin's choice of instruments. From the pummeling of the tabla and witch, to the discombobulating effects produced by the bouzouki and sighs. Suspiria's soundtrack is full of unusual instruments, but it was the introduction of the synthesizer to the score which dominated the soundtrack. The Moog Modular System synthesizer slowly began to dominate the score, providing the unnerving pulse of Marcos as well as carrying the title track through the nightmarish midsection. The choice of using a synth in a film score not only was an unheard of concept, but it marked a new era for film scores. Following Suspiria, synths became a go-to instrument for film scoring, especially in the horror genre. Okay, let us look at a scene in detail, and oh yeah, spoilers. In the Königsplatz scene, or Daniel's death scene, a single melodic phrase reflects Daniel's isolation in the world and the square.
Come on, let's go.
As the dynamics slowly increase to a crescendo and as the texture thickens as more instruments are added to the melody, goblins show Daniel's increasing fear and creates the feeling of another presence contrasting to the solo melody played just before. The square in which the attack takes place is known as the infamous Königsplatz Square in Munich, a landmark still by many remembered for its dark history of being the grounds for Nazi rule. The bombastic music may hint to the dark and violent past as Daniel's blood is spilt upon the cobblestones. The film is a hellish nightmare concocted out of European folklore and promoted by a constant and unnerving rhythm, creating a haunting atmosphere blasted by noise, music and wind that enraptures the viewers in an abstract and expressionistic whirlwind cursed with Thank you for listening to this Sea Files podcast, The Music of. I've been Max and I hope to see you again soon.